Hey, welcome to your weekly corner Späti. We don't have an episode for you today. Oh, we do. We do.
Yeah, you're listening to it.
This is it. It is, as you can really clearly tell, it is just myself, Nick, and Ciarán.
Rap.
Yes, Ciarán found out what rap music is this weekend.
I'm very excited.
And yeah, so we had something planned, I guess, and it fell through.
Yeah, it's
But,
all right.
I guess it'll be next week. Nonetheless, we still wanted glorious content. So Ciarán showed me an Ancap Nu-Metal band.
Yes.
And we're just going to go from there. And this is going to be a fucking dog shit episode.
So Nick is experiencing what it's like to meet me for the first time at a party. My usual icebreaker of just opening my phone and showing people an Ancap Nu-Metal band.
I was expecting them to be like better.
Like musically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Politics are shit,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. I was actually, in a similar vein, I was expecting their politics to be worse. Rather like...
True. Their politics are really like inoffensive, actually, for how many...
Terribly inoffensive.
Yeah. For how many anarcho-capitalist fucking flags that are just plastered throughout the video.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that one video where then they have all the
various tendencies.
the worst given anarchism is a weird field that there's just so many splits of it, but they just managed to find all the worst ones.
We're throwing stones in glass houses if we're talking about which leftist tendency has the most splits in it, because they all do. It's terrible.
Oh yeah, but like anarchism just is the one that then just like encompasses the entire political spectrum. It's like, yo, what about if it's just like the state didn't exist, but like I can be really racist, or what if the state doesn't exist, but you know I can live in the woods and die from the lack of medical breakthroughs and shit like that. Or
There's definitely the weird.
What if the state didn't exist and I could be a Daki Komura, or the fuck the thing is called,
where I have prima noctis on all my slaves. Yeah, so like I think it's fair to say that like, okay, yeah, there's some weird tendencies. I will accept like anarcho-primitivism, but
it is sick.
Yeah, it's great. It's the one true. Who would win, this one guy or that blurry orange blob that's going to come?
Anarcho-primitivism, though, is... Rob has a theory about this that I do agree about. That anarcho-primitivism is, like, the purest form of anarchism. Like, it is, like, if you just, like... If you just, like, took anarchism for, like, purely what it's worth...
Yeah.
You would end up, like, just... That is the logical fucking conclusion of it. It is bad. Like, it is a stupid fucking thing. Like, there has to be, like, some, like... Well, maybe, like... Yeah, I don't know. Like Rob has to go into that though.
Yeah. But to be fair, like no anarchist tendency, including a lot of the flags are the ones that were flown in that first music video.
All the bad ones.
A lot of the bad ones, yeah, would not call anarcho-capitalism anarchism, because they just don't see it as that. Like, so the other flags we should talk about are like anarcho-transhumanism, which is way too niche and specific, and the people who like make that their hill to die on are very weird tech will save us people. Then you have like egoism, which I've heard proper well-read egoists explain egoism to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely not what the memes informed me it was. Because like egoism is not capitalist at all. They do believe in cooperatives, but they come at it from like a self-interest point of view, being like, it's in your self-interest to have cooperatives because not everyone can be a boss, and statistically likely you won't be the boss.
Damn it, I won't. I always thought I was a boss. Fuck.
Look, in anarchism, everyone's a boss and no one's a boss.
Bro, it's called dialectics. Okay? You're already stepping into Marxist territory.
The bossness dialectic. But fucking Christ. So yeah, so the band is called Backwards. Word as in word to your mama.
Speech, word, lyrics, rhymes, words.
Fucking hell. And God. Yeah, we listened to two songs just there. One was called Statism.
Statism, yeah, that was a cool one.
Which was featuring Craig Mabbitt. What band is he from again?
Craig Mabbitt is from, I think he's currently in Escape the Fate. I don't know. Yeah, so this is like going back to the...
Escape the Fate, you're right.
Yeah, no. This is going back to like the Nick's weird... I never was really into metalcore, but this was like one of those like bands that like friends of mine liked. It was like them, and then there was like Bless the Fall. He was also in Bless the Fall. Proud Arizona band.
And look where he is now.
He is on featured on a thing. I don't know if Craig Mabbitt is. I think Craig Mabbitt is from Phoenix. He also started the band The Word Alive, which one of my friends plays for.
Oh, nice.
Which is really funny.
We can follow up on this episode weirdly.
Yeah. But like that's the thing is that then like I never knew the politics of like any of those bands, but it also like would never surprise me that like one, it's probably just like a hey dude, will you do a feature? That could very well be the thing. But two, it also would never ever surprise me if anyone that in the Arizona like music metal scene and stuff like that was just like unapologetically in Ancap.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because they all harbor like these like extreme libertarian tendencies that then are just these like like a dude who's read 3 books and is like I fucking just know better than you.
Yeah, there's that. You get serious vibes from this band as well, especially from the second song we listened to, Self Ownership, where the third verse.
I bet 2 of the books that they have read are Animal Farm in 1984, and they did not get an inkling of what those books are about.
God, no, at all, no. The point of Animal Farm was to return the farms to the humans. That was how it was meant to end. We all made a mistake. Let's go back. But the superior attitude thing is something that's definitely coming through because verse 3, as Lyric Genius calls it, of self-ownership, I initially referred to it as the owning the libs breakdown, where he has nothing to say and he says it badly.
The thing that then is so cool about this is that then it's like a really, because keep in mind this is like the second generation of nu metal that was like tried a few years ago. Are they still a band?
This is backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going strong. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, because there is like this very weird second wave of nu metal that then is. That was big, I say, like 3 or 4 years ago, where like everyone like remembered that like Korn was actually pretty sick.
Yeah, during the 2010s.
Yeah,
a bit of a revival. Some bands came out. This is also like in around the time when like that new Limp Bizkit album Gold Cobra came out.
We're talking about Gold Cobra again.
Yeah, Gold Cobra. You always talk.
Well, because like
I'll never stop talking about Limp Bizkit.
No, you shouldn't. Limp Bizkit's great, but like the thing is that like this kind of came off the back of like Gen. If we know what that genre is, or is it a genre? Who knows? But like, what are these like the really like syncopated guitars and stuff like that, and how it just like was always kind of like approaching nu metal. Like it was always really like a lot of like shit from bands like I don't know like Periphery and stuff like that sound a lot like Linkin Park songs, and then someone was just like, yo, like, what about we just do straight up nu metal? And that became like a trend, and it's cool that they're, still doing it. And there are like, I think a few decent bands who do this. They're not one of them.
No, God, no, this band, no, definitely not.
But I really like that fucking breakdown has the cheesiest like nu metal thing, which is someone not even rapping, but just like talking.
Yeah.
Over a breakdown.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's all just this like really like patronizing shit.
Oh, for sure. So the music video to Self Ownership is just a fucking piece de la resistance. I don't think I mentioned, but backwards is spelled with a Z for anyone who wants to go home. It's word as in word to your mama and then Z. So I like to think it's like Dragon Ball Z. It's like backwards Z. But anyway, so the music video for Self Ownership is the most fucking... it just describes their audience perfectly. So this like typical lower middle class professional managerial kind of class person is on his way to work to his office, and he looks like you. He's got glasses and a bit of a beard. He's not like fat, but he's also not muscular either. That describes me when I was listening to this music. Describes me now.
I'm yoked as fuck. I don't have glasses, and I'm uncontrollably handsome, so I do not relate to this guy one bit.
And that's why my politics are the way they are.
That's why I'm a Marxist-Leninist.
Yes, because all this handsomeness. But the Fucking hell. Yeah, so he's on his way to his office and he sees a Black Lives Matter protest.
Nothing pisses off a young middle-class white dude with a beard more than a Black Lives Matter protest.
And I think it's also important to note that like no one in the Black Lives Matter protest is black. That's like an important...
Really?
Yeah, there was like maybe like one vaguely Hispanic older guy, but that was it. Everyone was like very white. And I'm not sure if they were trying to make a point or if they just can't get anyone to star in their video who is black.
I mean, if Tom McDonald can get black people to be in his music videos, which the song is literally like, If I Was Black. If you've not seen this, please look it up. It is horrible.
We're giving you a lot of homework this episode.
Yeah. I mean, Tom McDonald also fits it's the exact same politics of Tom McDonald as well, which is really cool. But yeah, no, if Tom McDonald could get black people in his video, then these fucking losers could have done that as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. But because
Tom McDonald's incredibly offensive.
Yeah. He sees the Black Lives Matter protest on the way to work, and then he spends all day not working, which is a great indictment of capitalism, for sure. That maybe none of us are working at our jobs, and these are all just like make work schemes for...
No, he's not working because he's fucking pissed.
Yes, because he spends all day like Googling things and then printing out newspaper clippings onto a board. Because everyone knows that like articles on a website look exactly like newspaper clippings, so you can just print them off.
I like how like the reality of that though would have just been him getting in like Reddit or Facebook arguments all day long at work instead of like researching. I don't know that's not even research. It's just literally just being a complete psychopath. It's like literally I thought at the end of the video he was just going to shoot all the protesters or run them over with a car or something like that.
Yeah, he does something that's like one step removed from that, which is he at the end of his workday, I guess, he confronts the protesters. Who, because they've been there for 8 hours. He's a
good Ancap who just knows that if you put in all your hours at your fucking meaningless desk job, it'll eventually pay off.
Yes.
Because you've also invested all your life savings into fucking Ethereum or whatever the fuck it is.
And buying a megaphone, which he then whips out.
Which he bought with Bitcoin.
His Bitcoin megaphone company. He whips out a megaphone at the protesters and then lectures them with verse 3. Would you like to hear this lovely verse?
I would like to hear this verse.
I didn't realize until halfway through this, although I probably should have realized a lot sooner. This band doesn't swear, which rad. You guys are really sticking it to the man. All right,
bro. Because if they swore, then the fucking FCC would get on them, bro. Because the year is 2003 and the FCC is still taking down music for being just too real and too offensive.
There's definitely a band that had like that parental advisory sticker just like as their whole album artwork, right? That does exist. Remember the like black and white parental advisory sticker?
Of course I do. Yeah.
But there was definitely like a band that just had that like just blown up to be the whole album cover.
Probably, yeah. It has to exist. The thing I do get a vibe from is that then like this band won't curse, but I really bet that they say the F word. Like that's definitely that vibe.
The only reason they don't say the N-word is because the front guy's black.
Yeah. But they'll use slurs, but they won't use like actual bad words. Like I do get that vibe from them.
Yeah. With the example that I encountered on the Discord recently, joined the Discord, was when someone sweared fucking but didn't swear the R word, didn't censor the R word, and it's like, what are you doing here? What's this? All right. Verse 3, or the owning the libs breakdown, because things get all quiet so we can let the man speak. Start making sense when you realize the lies. I hate to say it, but your protesting is ill-advised. You put your life into the hands of a bunch of silly guys. It's a contradiction if freedom has to be legalized. For example, when a cop's shooting a black man, you focus on the racism, ignoring all the statism. Holding signs, rioting is not about to save him. He was just shot. What? Okay. Because you must have forgot that the power that you gave them. Criminal justice reform is a euphemism for a bunch of dumb, foolish slaves with Stockholm syndrome. Thinking they'll be held to the same standard, don't do it. So they can investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing. Bro,
wait, is it still going?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude,
sorry,
this guy.
Four more lines. But 5, but the last one, you'll love the last one. Bro, sit and think about this foolishness. This is foolishness. You hit the ballot box supporting fools that don't know you exist. Warfare, healthcare, and your minimum wage. Call a progressive man who's calling warfare. Okay. But you're an obedient slave. Last line. Dang.
Oh no.
We found the whitest nu metal.
Oh no.
Which is a feat.
Oh my god. How? All right. Like the thing that I think is just so, because like we were talking about this like right when you showed it to me, is that like this is clearly a person who's never encountered anyone who disagree with them.
No, because the whole the example I gave of where he's like, shouting at a Black Lives Matter protest that like cops investigating themselves will just find that there's no
Black Lives
wrongdoing.
Matter. Black Lives Matter obviously is protesting that with not knowing that then cop.
Of course,
that,
they've never looked into it.
Police union is not a corrupt organization.
Look, they didn't spend half a work day half Googling and paying attention to
No, they
things.
fucking should have been instead of protesting.
Instead of protesting.
Dang.
They should have pretended that they were working at their spreadsheet factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was bad. I don't have any other words to say for that. That was just like that was literally.
Now, Nick, as a Marxist-Leninist, have you considered that Lenin was just a silly guy?
Of course not. But oh my goodness, like that. There's so many layers to this. I don't know how to like deconstruct this in any way whatsoever. Look at me deconstructing things like a fucking pussy ass postmodernist.
Oh, God, we need to. Okay, like media analysis needs to happen when this becomes media.
Oh God. But like, do they legitimately think that then like, okay, first off, like, I bet that they listened to Rage Against the Machine when they were younger.
Yes.
All right. Very clear. Every new about like maybe they were one of those bands that are like, damn, I want to do that, but their politics just they're pro state politics. Well, really fucking has me going.
There's two things happening there. Two things that could be happening, which is one, what you described, where it's just like, what if we were Rage Against the Machine, but like, I liked their politics. Like they actually understood the Rage Against the Machine was anarcho-communist, and like they come with decent receipts. Like Tom Morello's origin story is like pretty fucking interesting. His like dad was a Ugandan communist resistance fighter who had to like escape to fucking America, only marrying like an English woman. I think Zach De La Roca has similar receipts as well. But anyway, the fucking so it's either that they understand perfectly the politics of Rage Against the Machine,
and they don't want that,
or
they really didn't understand.
Didn't understand it at all. Because like I could totally see someone listening to Rage Against the Machine and then hearing the like anti-establishment aspects of it, and then being completely blind to everything else,
and being and being these guys. I mean, like there is. I think just with like
and just thinking that when they were told, now you do what they fucking told you, that was just too much cussing, man. We can't have that. Calm down, buddy. Stop being such a silly guy.
Dang. Yeah, I always, because that was always like genuinely like a thing within people that I was in like the like metal scene with. It was this type of politics. Like they liked Rage Against the Machine. But there was the inability of being able to tell that it was like communism, or that there was like at least like a left wing critique that there's like, yeah, they're against the machine, bro. Like,
yeah.
And they did have, I mean, which is really like, have you like never seen a video of Rage Against the Machine then? Because like there's just like anarcho-communist flags everywhere. They fucking fly the Zapatistas flag. Their logo's a literal red fucking star.
What was it? Is it Millennium Homes or New Year's? It's New Year's Day, I think, which is just the whole song is about the Zapatistas. Yeah. I think you could be blind to it, especially if you like I was blind to Rage Against the Machine for a little while. Like origin story of Ciarán, Rage Against the Machine is the thing that like radicalized me, because Evil Empire came with a reading list and I just cracked into that. But like before that, I was just like, I like what these guys are saying. They're cool. And like I was also 13, and these guys looking around my age, so they're probably like,
yeah, they're probably also like 13 as well.
Yeah, like They
just didn't get into the reading list.
No, they didn't get into the reading list because they're not fucking nerds like I am.
Do you think that's like a problem? Like, do you think that's something that they noticed? Because I know that System of a Down did the same thing. That they have the what's it like, the Axis of Power, Axis of Justice. That's what their group is called, with Serge Tankian and Tom Morello and all them.
Oh, really?
And they have a reading list of like actually like solid theory.
Yeah.
Of like, I mean, one of them is like the first one is like the People's History of the United States.
Howard Zinn, that's also
Howard
on the Evil
Zinn.
Empire.
Yeah.
List,
And then there's also just like the Communist Manifesto and shit like that. And then some things here and there that are more like, you know, on lines of like anarchism. Some other books I think that are fiction, but it's a big, like, I would say pretty respectable reading. I mean, it's not. It is very much tiered towards Americans.
Axis of Justice is technically a non-profit that exists to bring together musicians with activists.
Yeah.
That's cool. I never heard about this, but yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. It has a bit of an American focus. My memory of the Evil Empire reading list is there's some decent stuff there about the Global South, but again, it was through like America's relationship with it. So that was kind of cool. But I think the thing is you run this risk with certain types of bands, because System of a Down in itself is also like that, where why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? And shit like that.
Which was like, that was like a Billboard top charting song, which is really fucking weird.
Well, this is the whole thing about nu-metal, is nu-metal is probably like the only genre of metal that, well, the exception maybe of like hair metal in the 80s, that pierced the like Billboard charts and was like apparently one of the slanderous terms towards nu-metal at the time, when it was like first a big thing in the new millennium, was calling it mallcore, because it would be played in malls, because it was like a chart topping shit. But I think with all these kind of like political bands, was you had to like straddle this line of how do we talk about this stuff without being just obnoxiously preachy. Because
I mean, you could just literally rattle off prison statistics.
Yeah. Prison Song, that's a classic. I think they did. I think both of those bands did it quite well. But when you straddle that line, and when you're not like just the, you know, shitty anarcho-communist folk punk band from like around the corner who just like nothing rhymes, nothing fucking slaps. It's just them yelling to you about politics you already have. It just gets really annoying and preachy and starts looking like the good version of Christian music. Yeah. So you have to straddle that line. I think the casualty of that is you get people who just like completely misinterpret it and become backwards. Dang.
Damn, Ciarán got bars.
Oh, I got bars. I'm the new frontman of Backwards. The other guy was released for he just wasn't the right culture fit. Isn't that the bullshit Silicon Valley way of getting rid of people of color and women?
Still with that. I'm just like, I don't necessarily like. Do this band like do they tour? Who do they tour with? Do they tour with like the John McAfee rap group called Coin Bros?
I mean,
well, this is just going to be an episode about like Ancap music, is it not? Because Coin Bros are another good one.
Backwards. Oh my God! Why is their first picture including like the Billboard logo? That's upsetting to me. Don't tell me this has penetrated the mainstream.
It's nu-metal, baby.
Oh, they've got a new song that came out.
What's it called?
October last year. Statheist.
Boo!
Like I said, we've done it. We found the whitest nu-metal band. What, like, did they have it? They only have a Facebook page? Fine. Sorry. I'm very upset with them. They don't have like a website that will be like clearly. I've got too many notifications of Facebook. Come on. I don't check this goddamn cursed platform enough. Thank you for an amazing year. Backwards. Thank you all for making our debut album a success. A video they did.
I don't want to watch that. No, stop it.
No, we don't have to watch it. They also did a cover of Bye 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 by NSYNC.
Oh, that's also like a really lame metal thing that was in like the mid 2000s. Is like, yo, what about if we take this well, normally it was like rap songs because it was always like this like very like pathology that I think a lot of these bands just really wanted to say the N-word.
Yes. Oh, punk goes crunk.
Exactly, yeah. If you ever noticed in a lot of those songs, they never edited out the N-word. So your favorite metalcore bands have all probably said the N-word at one time.
Yeah, they have.
To be fair, System of a Down also did once.
So these guys...
Oh,
like, man, when I was a teenager, I listened to Mindless Self-Indulgence and still do occasionally, but there are just a lot of N-words in that from what is a Jewish guy from New York saying it. It's not great. Okay, yeah, so Backwards is still posting pretty regularly, it seems.
Do they have a reading list?
No, I don't think they have a reading list, but the rapper is regularly going on these like Dave Rubin-esque sit-down libertarian talk show podcasty things.
Yeah, that's like the thing that they always find because that's the thing with the Trump campaign too, is that they have that or the Trump campaign, but with the like the Trump associated weird media sphere, is that they'll find like the one celebrity or like one pop star or whatever who's like really like pro MAGA, and they're just always like these like either people who had a career like 10 years ago. Or there's someone that then like no one in their right fucking mind should care about. Like there was a guy who like toured with Britney Spears when she was like in Vegas or whatever, and he was their opening act, and he's like super MAGA. So then he was at the Grammys wearing just this atrocious like MAGA suit or something like that. I don't know. But then they brought him on to like Bill Mitchell's show and like all these things, and like, wow, like you're penetrating the charts with these pro America songs. And then I looked up like who the fuck is this guy, and I think his songs had like 20,000 views or whatever, something like that. It was really sad. But yeah, like this falls into that same category. Like these right wingers are just like, oh yeah, like metal's actually like you don't want to imagine, but it's actually super progressive, and like we're against that. Like we're like speaking truth because we're ANCAPs, and we're the whitest political ideology, whitest male political ideology for like the whitest male idiot fucking genre.
Without actively calling for genocide, which is again one step away.
Oh yeah, you like nudge. Fuck, it's just Murray Rothbard just going on about like just like in the weird, bizarre fucking race science that he viewed in the world.
Yeah.
You can't not tell me that then just like really deep down inside that he like, I mean, he did like Pinochet.
Yes.
You can't tell me that then he just like didn't fantasize about like I want Hitler, but I want to be pro free market because Hitler wasn't free market.
Yeah, so
which is literally what fucking Ludwig von Mises is. Like everyone's like, oh no, he was anti-statist. He was not fucking I mean, none of them actually are. That's the thing that then's so funny is that they just want a mechanism of state that then will deregulate everything. It is like anarcho-communism is literally just neoliberalism if you just like take it to its like logical conclusion, which is
anarcho-capitalism.
That's what I said, right?
You said anarcho.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
You split the left again.
I split anarchism again. But like anarcho-capitalism is literally just like if you just keep neoliberalism chugging on along forever and ever and ever. Like they're fine. Like ANCAPs, although the true like ones who just sit in their basement and have read like the one Murray Rothbard article or whatever it is, because there is no actual theory behind like.
No, there isn't.
There is, but they all just kind of like are just they're bad. Like it's theory that then just is like just about the NAP and like all these things are just like okay, I don't want to say the word logic, but there's just these like very childish, illogical like mind games that like the NAP try to explain that then in a real life fucking scenario that then doesn't involve like violence in some way, and you can't because they're actually really pro-violence,
Yeah, so there's so much to unpack with libertarianism and how it is somehow related to nu-metal. I don't know how we got to this, but it's working. We did it. We found some content in the content mines. Woo! We went to the content trenches for you. Is this a mining town or is it a war? Who knows? The metaphor has lost all meaning. Anyway,
just don't violate my NAP.
Don't violate. So the getting to them, the whole concept of like property as violence. as well is like very hard for them to grasp, because you get into this whole thing of like,
but don't get them on taxation. They'll fucking fill your ear up with that nonsense.
Yeah, well, that's actually just so great. So okay, let's talk about, let's hear on. Oh Jesus. Okay, all right.
We did it. Woo! We connected Nu-Metal to anarcho capitalism, and I wanted to do this somehow. I wanted to steer the conversation this way, and I fucking did it.
Yes, we did it. Okay, but like, so this goes into the long, proud history that like right libertarians have of just like stealing all their shit from the left, and particularly anarchism. So the whole taxation as theft comes from, because I remember encountering like a liberal guy here in Berlin where he said like he saw a Jnco protest where the banner said "rent is theft."
And then he went with his megaphone.
Dang, you silly guys! Yeah, no, he was like, oh, that's just like, isn't that just aping the like same bullshit? I was like, of the taxes theft people from like libertarians. It was like, to know, because that was originally from Prodoon's "What is Property" essay, which was like the first anarchist, and he came up with the conclusion that property is theft. That's where like that whole like meme comes from, because to claim ownership over something means that no one else can do it, and you have to explain the whole like, oh, property is violence type of thing. It's like, okay, it's like, let's say you own a well and you're surrounded by a bunch of thirsty people. If they attack you to get the water, is that violating the NAP, or is you keeping the water violating the NAP? I know which answer they come down on, but like...
Oh, but you didn't want me to answer that. But yeah, that, I mean, like that is exactly then the thing, is that the NAP is very much just conditional about then who is the one in power of then said NAP. It is... It is incredibly fucking childish. It's just like, you can't violate what I say you can't violate. Yeah. And then the thing that then libertarianism then has to have behind that is then a set of laws. All right. You have to have a legal structure that then backs that up. And if you have then a thing that then is, voluntary contracts and whatnot, the thing that then backs it up in capitalism is a fucking state.
Yeah. So this is the other side of things, of just like the general left criticism, which is, I think all strands of the left hold this view, which is that you cannot have capitalism without the state.
You could. It would just be. It would literally be the like what you would see of a corporation just taking the role of the state.
Yeah,
which already you can like argue in some senses does exist in some places.
Yeah, I think that you'd make the argument that then there's like, you either reach a point where the state still exists, but it's in some sort of like ridiculously benign position. Like what like the libertarians in the states who run for like libertarian president want, the night watchman state. Yeah, like all you do is just like protect
minarchists or whatever they're called.
Yeah. And then you have that, or the state dissolves, but then something fills the void that effectively could just at that point be called a state, because it's operating like one.
I mean, Amazon could function as a state.
Yeah.
It does function. I mean, like Walmart functions as a state.
Yes.
Google functions as a state. It just the only difference is that there's a legal backdrop that then Google itself is not entirely writing, but they do have a lot of influence in it.
Yes.
A lot of copyright law and shit like that is
it's owned by Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there is like the thing that I never like. Okay, I can to a degree then understand then if there is the criticism from ANCAPs or just like libertarians in general, like, oh no, well that still isn't a free market society, because then there are barriers of entry that then are created by the state to do that. However, those barriers of entry are typically put forth by private industry.
Yeah.
And that's where then it gets like that thing of that if you do start like pushing them on that, they don't really have an answer half the time. They just go, oh no, that's crony capitalism. Which is just then like monopolies, or then monopolies then wouldn't exist in a free market. It's like, you're telling me that then a system that then is based on competition, it's not going to end up with a winner takes all system that then its end game is wealth and power.
Oh yeah, because that's the thing. Competition implies a winner.
Exactly.
And losers. Yeah.
So
this is kind of the situation. Like, this is the other problem you get with like a lot of ANCAP and libertarian types, is that they don't necessarily advocate for a. Some will say they advocate for like, oh, can you imagine a society like this, blah blah blah, where we've kind of like reset everything with no laws. Like I've even heard some people kind of talk with the idea of like Ancap of just like when it begins somehow, we all get like 10 grand and like that, then we're just set out into the wild and whatever.
Who's giving you the 10 grand?
Yeah,
though?
this is the thing. The last thing the state does with its dying breath is give you 10 grand and then it just...
So Andrew Yang is actually the Ancap president in the
would it surprise you that he probably has a lot of support
before the end times?
Yeah, he has a lot of support amongst these kind of types.
Of course he does, because he also wasn't he like a venture capitalist and shit like that.
Yeah, not very successful one.
Yeah.
The so that like whole aspect of it as well is just like really fascinating. But like then the other side of it is, and I think the side that gets promoted by like Coke and Mercer money are the ones that were just like, what if we just got rid of the rules now? It's like, do you want to change any of the power relations that currently exist? No, we just got rid of the rules.
That's it. Like, and I do like legitimately think that then anarcho-capitalism is kind of like the... We're gonna have a squeaky noise in the background.
Sorry, we're joined by our dogs. Dang.
A thing that I think is so funny too with like anarcho-capitalism is it is the one that then you end up on if you're just like, yeah, man, I want a society with no rules. I want to do like it is the purest form of individualism that is just something that then like if you're 4 years old you'd come up with, and then imagine then being like 30 something and then still thinking that that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like the thing that then I think a lot of people don't understand, at least with anarchism, is that it isn't like an absence of law and order in a sense of like a general sense of like there will still be a factor that an anarcho-communist society or an anarchist, like a left anarchist society that still tries to like maintain the peace. It just won't be an organized state police force or something like that. It'll be, there are laws. There would, at least like in the beginning phases of it, there would still be like there's still a legal system that then is more or less then agreed upon and decided upon collectively amongst people. There is probably like a voluntary like, you know, either done in shifts or whatever, then like maintaining this order. You know, it is like a communal living structure, but it isn't just like, man, laws, I fucking don't want those. I just want to live the way that I want. And it's like, that is what anarcho-capitalists legitimately think anarchism is.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, this is like any kind of support form that like tries to help people with like when they're first discovering anarchist thought is always just like it will always be in the FAQ, just like go to the FAQ of just like anarchism means no rulers, not no rules. Like we have lots of rules. The idea is that you agree about the
Here community. I come in skateboarding on a pizza.
I mean, yes, elect that man. But like, no, but it's well, there's that old like joke of like anarchism is meetings, communal gardening, and punching Nazis. Like it's just everyone sits down and agrees the rules. It's not that like there are no rules and everyone goes fucking wild. I think the other side of this that I want to talk about a little bit, because it's a little bit of like, I feel like liberalism did this and created these folks, or one aspect of it that I see in a lot of other things. So here's Ciarán's doing his like Mark Fisher thing where I bring in a largely what seems like an irrelevant children's movie, but I will make a point eventually. But like, so with the fourth Avengers movie, the like part 2 of the ending,
I don't know anything about these movies.
That's okay. Thanos does his thing where he gets rid of like most of the people. Sorry, spoilers for Avengers 3, I guess. And one thing I went into that...
Did Thanos do a genocide?
Thanos did a genocide.
Oh, okay.
He gets rid of half of all life on the universe because he has this theory that there isn't enough resources. It's the overpopulation myth,
so
basically.
He's an eco-fascist.
Yeah, he's an eco-fascist.
Oh, cool.
And there's a whole like subreddit community, like Thanos did nothing wrong. Of course there is. But anyway, one of the things that I was afraid of when I went into that movie, and I literally told my wife about it when we were like the morning of going to that movie, is so... We're going to see this world where it's been like a couple of years where Thanos did this thing, and things are going to be better. The only reason to get back at Thanos is a sense of vengeance, not that he did something morally destructive or reprehensible, right? Because you see that with, again, another weird pop culture reference, but the last season of Death Note, where like he's killing everyone left, right, and center for like being bad people, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, society's much better now," rather than like, and we're just getting revenge on this guy for doing that because it was wrong to kill people, not that this would just lead to a massively dysfunctional society. And I think a huge part of this, and again another relevant thing, I've been watching the Netflix original Daybreak, which is about apocalypse, and you see this in like every apocalyptic storyline, like basically ever, where it's very clear that the people who wrote the story, this is in Avengers, don't really know where things come from. Like, they have no sense of manufacturing, no sense of where shit happens. And I think that's a huge explainer of like this very individualist mindset of like, I could go into the woods and be fine. I could live ruggedly off the land somehow. And never once thinking that like, oh shit, everything I wear, everything I use, everything I need for like basic ass shit is like meticulously manufactured and has like this ridiculous supply chains that you couldn't possibly understand because it's not your whole day's life, like making this tiny little bit on your jacket or whatever the fuck. Because like that was something they didn't acknowledge at all in like in this Netflix show where the guy's like watching Netflix on an abandoned screen in a baseball studio, and it's just like the servers would be down. There's people who maintain the servers, and there's that thing in like
you just have to get in that fucking shameless Netflix ad.
Yeah,
no matter what, even in
even in your own product. Then there's the
wait. Why do you have to? Like,
I don't know. You're already on Netflix.
That happens all the time on all those fucking Netflix shows. It's just like they'll close their fucking whatever PlayStation or their computer and from watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Or like on Terrace House, they always look up their own show on Netflix.
Oh, no, that's just Terrace House. They always did that.
They're like, I'm just watching Netflix.
But then like Avengers, like they had this whole thing of like, how is the whole world not in like more chaos? Because like, thanks to things like austerity, you guarantee like every electrical dam in the world is running on a fucking skeleton staff. And then if half of them suddenly disappeared one night, there's just like a whole region of the world without fucking electrical power now. So like everyone who was on a life support machine is dead. It's just this concept of like, and I think this is where it's a thing that's kind of present in liberalism, but they just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But then it's a thing that like definitely fuels this libertarian shit of like you just don't know where shit comes from.
Yeah. However, on that though, like the thing that I really do like, not about libertarianism, but this is actually from Netflix. Is I watched all those prepper shows.
Oh yeah.
And those people fucking get it.
Yeah.
Like they okay, some of them are just all like, oh, like there's gonna be a disease, like or whatever.
Yeah.
The one that then I always liked the best are the people who like were afraid of North Korea, because that's like pretty illogical to. I keep, this fucking libertarianism is like just penetrated my brain. I keep saying things like logic and reason, but it's like
Dang.
Being afraid of North Korea is a pretty stupid one because they're not going to nuke the United States. But the one that then I always thought was really funny too was EMPs. And the thing that was always really cool when people were afraid of EMPs is that they knew like how all these they're like literally nothing is going to work because anything that you could imagine that is like part of your daily life probably has electricity somewhere involved within its mechanism or it getting to you, whatever it is. So you have to like they made like Faraday cages and shit like that to then like protect their electronics from an EMP. And then there was also like it was really interesting to then see like given these people are like a little bit like overreact a little bit, but still nonetheless of like in like all the like silliness of then what was like the hoarding and prepping for then the end of the world. There was actually like I think a better understanding. I mean, given they probably all were like crazy libertarians or like white nationalists or whatever like these people typically are in the U.S. But they at least like had an understanding of then how like they may not see it as the economy, but like how like life functions. Yeah, which is, I mean, if you think about it, it can drive you fucking insane, obviously. And if you can then imagine, like, okay, let's say that then there was like a zombie apocalypse, or there was an EMP, or there, even like, okay, any country that then has been in austerity would tell you that then that is very much a reality, of the sense of that then, okay, like you find a large financial sector of your country's gone. A lot of these things, like basic functions, don't work, So yeah, I don't know, just somehow you made me think of that. Yeah,
no, that's completely fair. I feel like though, with the prepper people, it's definitely a sense of like, I feel like they started as people who didn't have any comprehension they started as like individualists who had no comprehension of the wider system, but then when they get into this as like a hobby shit,
and a lot of them just start like reading like fucking InfoWars and shit like that.
Yeah. But then like they start going into like the prepper forums, and they'll get like informed by some like lad with a megaphone outside a protest telling them that you need to fucking you make sure your like water filtration system fucking works or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they'll realize that they eventually, the good ones who stick with it, realize we live in a society. Dang.
I really like the thing too is that like on a lot of like conservative radio shows and like in the 2000s they did a lot of ads for like prepper materials. At least in Arizona they did, and they were always in the ones of like, if Obama gets elected, you need to buy gold, and you have to buy 500 liters of potable water, and you have to then buy your Survivor Man meal kits or whatever the fuck.
Whatever I'm hawking.
Whatever they're like fucking trying to sell you. And that was a fun time. Like the fucking 2008 was kind of insane now that I remember.
Which kind of leads us back to this band, which is they definitely feel 10 years too late. Fucking backwards.
Yeah, this definitely is like a band that would have came around during like the Tea Party protests.
Yeah, and it's probably where some of this like it's like the weird Koch brothers money that went to the Tea Party was actually like the only example of effective trickle down economics, because here we are 10 years later and they finally get some.
Yeah.
Really, like,
they got that fucking Mercer money. Good job. What's it? Backwards.
Eric July is the front man of Backwards.
That's not a real name.
No, it's not. But it's not even a cool fake name.
No, it isn't. It's not like at least like, come on, like do what like porn stars do, where you just have like your name is your dick.
So like the nu metal the good nu metal. Let's talk a little bit about good nu metal to wrap up.
I'm like a little I'm a little shot right now. Just my
Did we ruin you with my fucking Ancap?
Yeah, you did, because now I can only think about Backwards.
How he's going to be hung for what he's saying.
That was the thing too, is that they had like I don't know if I already mentioned this very Tom McDonald energy again. Oh no, I totally did, because I'll look up Tom McDonald.
You look up Tom McDonald.
Mine and Rob's favorite rapper.
Do you want the exact line that you're talking about here?
Yeah.
I'm not innocent. I'm on a mission, so let me finish it. Matter of time before they summon the army in. I'm probably on the FBI's most wanted list. I'm probably going to end up hung like an ornament. I love that a black person said that.
Yeah, I don't know what like that's the thing too, is that like no one is attacking Ancaps. Like, not like, to be fair, at least like Nazi groups can be like, damn, the government doesn't like us, because there are like some FBI cases against them, or at least the government pretends not to like them.
Yeah.
No one is going after them.
No one.
Absolutely. Unless they're like the ANCAPs who then become white nationalists, who then arm themselves and then start militias, then maybe. But even then, they get less attention than the left does.
Yeah.
Even though they're far more of a threat.
So the thing is, like they're in no way a threat, this band.
Oh, which by the way reminds me, little shout out to everyone, because
to all our white nationalists,
to all of our no. So this episode will be coming out on the 25th, I believe, right, of November. To all of our listeners who are in Berlin. Speaking of those pesky left wing terrorists and extremists, you should hit us up and come with us. At least I'm going, and I think Yulia's going to see what's going on with the what's it called, Schlager gegen Links.
Yeah.
Apparently they got kicked out of Gendarmenmarkt, where they're supposed to be doing it, but nonetheless, like, I want to find out where it is. We got to crash it. We got to spread some communism.
Hey, wait, were they going to be doing it at like the Weihnachtsmarkt?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Or like right like across the street there or something, and they weren't allowed to do it.
Oh God.
But so
the Gendarme. Okay, so to give a little context of this for the people who aren't like familiar with like several layers of what we just said. Okay, so like Weihnachtsmarkt or a Christmas market is like the one in Gendarmenmarkt is quite nice. You have to pay to get in, which is, but it's only like €1 to get in. I took my family there when they were here for last Christmas. It's quite lovely. You can get like a whole baguette just stuffed with camembert cheese and just munch on that as you walk around. It's decadent, but at the same time, I did not realize that some of the weird acts performing would be fucking Schlager gegen Links. Which
no, it's not at the like it's the Christmas market hasn't opened yet. Has it?
No, I think it.
It opens the first. It opens the first Advent. Are we there yet?
I don't know. I think some Christmas markets have started.
Could be.
Yeah.
But it was like going to be like in that same vicinity, like the same
right.
Whatever. Yeah.
So when you're kicked out for being too drunk on fucking camembert bread from the Christmas market, why not join?
I just think it's hilarious that they just didn't give, like, they revoked their fucking permit, which is like now they're searching for a new place.
They're getting a little too wild with the CDU.
Yeah, so if it does happen, if Schlager gegen Links or Schlager, which is a horrible genre of German music that should be shot to the moon.
Yep. Against the left.
Yes, it is against which. Oh my God! There's actually a Schlager artist in Austria whose album cover is him twisted himself into a swastika.
Like with Photoshop, or actually, because if he did it actually,
he's literally like doing that. Yeah, Schlager is definitely like
dangerous music.
Huh?
Dangerous music. More dangerous than this band.
Yeah. Oh no, like the fact that there's like a thing that says Schlager gegen Links is in no way surprising, because every person who is like involved in like a Schlager group or is a Schlager singer is like either the far right wing of the CDU or just openly a Nazi, or not openly, but like they like just, you know, that they're like, oh, my hobby is I collect wine with Adolf Hitler on it, which is a thing that you can do in Germany. That is like things that Nazis like doing here.
Oh, jeez. Well, like this is.
They also sell them with Mussolini on them. It's a wine company
that
from
makes
Italy.
more sense.
It was actually a dude from the AFD who got in trouble. I don't think actually happened to him, but there was parties taken at his house with like the whitest German energy, just like his like, you know, disgusting old leathery girlfriend just like laying across the table or whatever, and then in the background is, you can see these like it's just bottles of wine with like Hitler and Mussolini on it, which are sold like as like specifically like neo-Nazis go to Italy and buy it and they're like, isn't this crazy, like I have this. And that was a little scandal like from last year. But like just imagine like gross leathery German people trying to be old and sexy. Like
they'll have it in their house, these bottles of wine. They'll say like, oh, it's ironic. And like, it's ironic the same way I have TikTok is ironic. I fucking love TikTok.
You tried to get me on I need to break through the algorithm, but
yeah, you do. You need to train that algorithm, buddy. Yeah, to get rid of all the really horny content. That's
literally, you pull it up, and it's just fucking like, it's like weird German TikTok thoughts, just like doing nothing but shoving their very large breasts into the camera thing while dancing. I don't know.
If you want that content, you like it. If you don't want it,
I don't
like
want
anything
that content.
else,
I want the good TikTok content.
The good that I find.
Please send me that good.
Send the good TikToks. I think also deep cut. If anyone wants to understand Schlager better, deep cut to corner Späti lore. DJ Happy Vibes, AFD's official Schlager musician.
He's a DJ. Okay.
Oh, he's a Schlager DJ. Yeah. Yes, all right. Not to just besmirch the fine name of Schlager musicians.
Oh, of course not. We would never do that in this house.
Is there an Ancap Schlager band?
You couldn't have that here because within like 2 months they would just openly support the AFD.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think Ancap's really a thing in Germany either. There's an Ancap party in Sweden, I think. It's the idea of that's really funny.
Yeah. It's that whole tax ideology, which is something that I don't think has ever been terribly popular in Europe. Mainly because I feel like that tax ideology in the States could only work with this fear mongering that's based on like a mischaracterization of like what happens in Europe. Because they're like, look at all these high tax societies, and like in Sweden you'll just get raped, and it's like that's just not happening for the majority of people in Sweden. So there's like, yeah, I guess taxes are fine kind of thing. It's There's like I wouldn't be surprised if that like ECRA party from Estonia was like trying to do that kind of shit. They're like, because everything they do
racism or do anti-tax stuff.
Well, they're already doing racism.
Oh, okay, cool.
But like, yeah, they're definitely kind of very imported American stuff because like they do the okay hand gesture. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
they do everything that's like they find from like the internet alt-right. So like them, but like most of like Europe's alt-right shit is like very ethno-nationalist in the sense that there's a welfare state for certain people kind of shit. Yeah,
I think that then like the only party that I've seen who actually is like really libertarian in that sense in Germany at least is the diehard members of the AfD.
Yeah,
because they're and not that they're ANCAPs in any way, but they are like really true like neoliberals.
They're definitely. I forgot about a tendency, but how the Pirate parties manifested in a lot of like Eastern Europe or Central Europe, they turned very libertarian.
Oh, sick!
Like the Pirate Party of the Czech.
It was because of Gamergate, wasn't it?
It was because of Gamergate. Pirate Party of the Czech Republic has got like a lot of like libertarian energy, but it's like weirdly mixed with cyberpunk, like cybergoths raving under.
Okay, good. I was like, they still are raving underneath the
current leader is a white guy with dreads. He looks like the ghost character from the second Matrix. It's great.
That's so sick. I would vote for if I was Czech. All right, to all of our Czech listeners, if you were not voting for them, what the fuck are you doing with your life? I still imagine. I'm. This is maybe like something I mentioned in like one of the very first episodes we did. Is that, if the Pirate Party's meetings are not them just like going under a bridge and just, dancing with like gas masks on,
very fast voguing to like,
and like neon colored dreads and stuff like that, then they're missing out on a very good niche that I would join that party.
For far too long, the cybergoths have been politically unrepresented. There's not enough cybergoth diversity in the Bundestag.
There is not. That is why now, as the new president of Germany, yes, I've declared myself president of Germany because that is something you can do apparently.
Yeah. I'm an influential columnist. I support this.
Yes. I'm waiting. All right. So if you are a columnist, please write in your local newspaper, and by local I mean like your nationally syndicated, very influential paper. If your name is Nicholas Christoph, please hit me up.
Yeah.
And write an article about how the world would be a better place if the rightful heir of Germany, myself, were just allowed to be president because I said so.
Yeah.
So this is a pro Nick for president of Germany podcast.
Yes.
I will do.
Nick for president. You already are the president. I'm confused.
Oh yeah, true. Shit. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I called my bluff.
Oh no, the whole thing, the house of cards that I've carefully constructed has come tumbling apart.
Yeah. So
and behind it, it's just the word "kill all the indigenous people" on it. How did that happen?
Where did that come from?
Bolivia. All right.
No, Nicholas Christoph was actually interviewing Juan Guaido.
He was, yes. Yeah. Another very legitimate president.
The most legitimate.
The most legitimate. Yeah. If we have a scale, everyone's at a 0 except for Juan Guaido, who is at +1.
Yeah.
It's a very simple scale.
I want to how do I contact the CIA to do that for me? Because I hear about how there's like these like podcasts like Chapo that are funded by the CIA.
I have heard that.
Yeah, I'm really curious of how have they not tapped into that CIA asset and them become president of the United States? But how do I tap into that and get the military to overthrow the illegitimate dictatorial president of Angela Merkel, who's been president for like 16 years.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because by that logic, she's a dictator, right?
I really like the idea of the CIA like overthrowing the president of Germany, not the chancellor.
Oh yeah, fuck. Sorry,
and then installing you, and you're just like,
damn it, wrong.
I have 0 power.
Yeah, fuck it, the CIA. Why are you not overthrowing Frank-Walter Steinmeier right now and putting me in there? No, okay, well then, sorry, I mistalk. All right, so they're gonna overthrow Angela Merkel, put me in, and I'm gonna change I'm gonna gonna do the cool thing and put those two roles together, and then give myself the one role. Which then the CIA will be like, that's democracy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
It's definitely not a consolidation of power. Not at all.
No, of course not.
No.
When I do it, it's good.
Yeah.
When another country does that, that's bad.
And we'll title this new role the Shah of Germany.
I'm down.
Yep.
I guess on my electoral bid. By electoral bid, I mean please, I will go into the woods this weekend with my whatever radio device I need to hear the secret message for this week, and have my message relayed to me, and make sure that the plans go as they should, so that by next episode we'll be sitting here. You guys will be talking with the president of Germany, the rightful president of Germany.
Yes.
So yeah.
Here's hoping, and I'll get on the horn and talk to backwards and get you a nice fight song.
Oh hell yeah! I wanted to use High Hopes.
I know everyone on the left has recently discovered what has become of. Is that Panic at the Disco?
It is Panic at the Disco, yeah.
If no one else has discovered, there is an old episode of Previously in Europe where I'm just like, I found this fucking song when it came out.
High Hopes?
Yeah.
I knew, for some reason too, I knew about this song, and I think it was when I took a deep dive wondering what happened to Panic at the Disco.
It's an insane song.
It's horrible.
It's terrible. But also, how did Panic at the Disco become this? It's just... Also, the other thing that really annoyed me is the aspect ratio the music video for it is at on YouTube. It's like formatted like this. Like really widescreen.
Why?
Yeah, it's very strange. But
can we watch this after?
Yes, of course. But this came out like 27th of August, 2018. I think it was after like one of the more fucking disastrous Spanish elections. And we put it on.
And that was what Panic at the Disco was writing about.
Yes. And I was literally looking for the song Gotta Have High Hopes, because that was generally the vibe of the Previously in Europe episode, where it's like, this is shit, but we all we can do is be hopeful that Spain will fucking sort itself out. And then I found this, and I'm like, yeah, fucking
just like the market.
Yes. Fucking pumping this weird shit. Yes, I think that's this episode.
Yeah, this is an absolute mess.
I love it though.
Yeah.
Well, like, how many things can we connect nu metal to? We only talk about one nu metal band, and from there we stretched out to libertarianism, fucking the rightful president of Germany,
me,
yes, Nick, and a little bit about what happened to Panic at the Disco. So I propose that the next time we do this, in Nick and Ciarán's nu metal chats, I wish my name began with N so we could like have more alliteration. Nick and Ciarán's nu metal chats, but I propose we just take another random nu metal band and see where the conversation goes. I
need to remember who all the nu metal bands are. I did see Limp Bizkit though. Did I tell you?
Live?
Yeah. I worked at the Citadella here, like serving drinks, like just like 2 years ago, and they played. To be very fair, it was a sick show. Like the thing that's really funny is that everyone comes dressed in like as Fred Durst.
Nice.
And it's really cool. Like, it's really fun, and like they are good live. I'm not gonna first off, Limp Bizkit has fucking sick ass songs. Second, it was really fun, and I like totally got why like it was completely sold out, and everyone was having a very good time.
Yeah.
And there was like at least a sea of like 500 Fred Dursts.
You love to see it.
You do love to see it, actually.
So join us next time on Nick and Ciarán's nu metal chats, where we will discuss the political leanings of POD.
Disturbed. Oh, POD. Okay.
Oh no, Disturbed are Zionist. I already know this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real bad.
What song did POD sing?
What's POD's most famous song? It's
I'm imagining POD just really being like with like Yas Queen, I'm with her.
You can't even remember the most like what song they did, and you're just like, shit.
No, like I remember it was like I remember what they look like.
Youth of the Nation. That would be their big hit. We are Youth of the Nation. We are. Yeah,
that's actually a bop.
Yeah,
like,
it's a bit
not
of a
gonna
bop.
lie,
Yeah,
like
no.
that is like.
No, the problem with all of this is they're all bops.
Yeah, they're just like very much like constructed in like a lab of.
Yeah, probably.
What's it called? What was it? Mallcore, whatever.
Mallcore music. Yeah.
It's very like methodical how it's.
Oh, there's like
Oh God, whatever. Yeah. See you guys next week.
See you next week.